Hello, demo scene. We are here.
It's us.
First, as we said, proper compo block. We're going to kick off with the ASCII Ansi, and then we're going to go to the old school music. We're going to do the photo, and we're going to do the 3D.
We might want to, if we could, wait a few seconds, as when they cut us in, the stream dropped for a second, and some people might need to resync. So,
yep, could well be.
But yeah, ASCII, PETsky, and I know a little bit about this compo. It's going to be good.
Yeah. While we're waiting, Truck, do you want to just briefly explain what an ASCII and what an Ansi is?
I could. Let's start with PETsky. PETsky is art that is done with the PET and Commodore 64 character set, and typically these entries are executable programs that display stuff on a C64. Then you have ASCII, which is traditionally an Amiga, Atari, and some PC format where it can either be somewhat graffiti-like or just some other form of artistic expression that uses the ASCII character set. Or, well, yes, for Amiga, straight ASCII. Then you get into the difference of block ASCII, which is closer to ANSI, which uses the PC, I can't remember what code page it is, but it's a particular set of glyphs, meaning characters from the IBM PC's BIOS. And
but older users will know it as the thing they used to draw word in before Windows happened.
Yeah. And typically they're using a lot of blocks, meaning a full block, a hashed block, half full blocks, either vertical or horizontal, and the 16 colors.
It tends to look very chunky pixel art.
Yeah,
it?
very chunky pixel art, but with the full set of other characters available. So you'll find people using them for shading, like the letters A or J, or just the happy face, all sorts of other things. And these go with the 16 colors that were in the, I want to say, the EGA palette. I can go into more detail about it, but when I start doing that, then we get into some people saying, oh, yes, no, because there's some vagueness there. Like, for example, a lot of the entries, let's put it this way. The IBM PC characters do not make slants as nicely as the Amiga Topaz font. And so people will draw an ASCII picture and use the Topaz font, which I used to say, but I stopped fighting that. As long as you tell me what the heck it is, I try to make sure that it gets shown the right way. And
that's cool.
I only had one of those issues this year, and it wasn't PC and Amiga.
No.
Yes.
Okay, shall we? We'll talk about the other compos as well, because I suspect we won't get much time in between them. We'll go on to next. The compo after that is no. Looks like we haven't got any time after
we're
all.
Getting
so
jingled.
we'll head straight over to ASCII Ansi and PETsky.
All right, the first one.
So we got entry number 1 is going to be Pull My Strings for Genti. C64, PETsky.
So, yes, that was Pull My Strings by Agent T. I don't know if it's for... anyway, this next one is High Priest from Sensenstahl of Desire. That is how I pronounce his name, right, Subi?
I think so, yeah.
By the way, I didn't record these with any music, so if you want to put a bed underneath it, that'd be okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This particular piece is using the smaller, the 80 by 50 IBM set. The rest of the entries use the 80 by 25, but that's something that you can request also. Sensenstahl asked specifically for this one to be shown in this font, and I think you can see why. It means it fits on the screen a little bit differently. And this is one of the ways you can get around that IBM PC slant issue.
Like dithering it out.
Slants are more square at the bottom.
That's very nice. I particularly like the bits at the bottom there. Yes, that was High Priest by sensenstahl of Desire. A lot of detail in that. And number 3 is Haus, 1919 to 1933.
Comments on this one were that it was it's inspired by Bauhaus. I think anybody familiar with that can identify that also. I really like the minimalism of this piece. Next is an Amiga ASCII piece, Dedication to My Pal, from NE7 of DCS.
Hi, Andy.
And this is a dedication to our friend B of Dual Crew Shining, also known as Noop, who sadly passed away this year, fuckings to cancer. We miss you, dude. A lot.
Yeah, only proper computer in that picture as well.
Yeah.
Entry number 5, Ansi Logo Collie number 1, Fusion of NeoKorteX.
This is also an Amiga piece, although he's using the IBM colors, but this is what's called a collie in Amiga ANSI terms. I'm sorry, Amiga ASCII terms. That's where you would get requests from folks, and then you would make these requests. Like, for instance, right here with Retro, I think that's 35 or 32. I have bad eyes. And then you would draw them out, graffiti style or in your font style. And this is something we used to do, and we used to have on the BBSs a lot. BBSs would use these pieces. These were quite popular a week ago. I'm not even going to try to say go back further than that, but it was obviously because BBSs. But yeah, collies are a thing even today. You can see them, all the old ones plus new ones, on ASCII Arena, I believe .se. That was ANSI collie number 1. Next is Hypro's Tetsuwan Atomu. And my Japanese pronunciation is crap.
I think that's Atom Boy. I may be wrong about that.
It's similar. You'll know.
It's what we know as Atom Boy anyway, I believe. Yes, there you go. Spiky hair.
Oh, you know that as Atom Boy.
Yeah.
Because we know him as Astro Boy.
That's right. Yeah, sorry. No, you're right. It is Astro Boy.
Okay. I mean, UK versus US, courgette versus zucchini, And since the gentleman died recently, we maybe don't have the conversation this year. But
entry number 7 is MonoTrigger by Checs, another Ansi comic.
This is one of the pieces from South America. We had a lot of representation from South America, and I wish my Spanish was better, because I would very much like to thank everybody in South America, Argentina, and the entire South American scene for participating in this. But yeah, this was drawn with a new tool called Mobius.
So literally a paint package for ASCII there.
Yeah. This is Osterhase by Logiker, and my German pronunciation is even worse than my Japanese. I apologize for that. This is a PETsky C64 piece.
It's using the classic C64 colors there.
Well, you're not allowed to switch the colors. Well,
No.
First of all, with C64, you really can't. But yeah, that is one of the things about all of these. The Amiga, yes, you can define the color set, but all the others, you can't.
No. Number 9, Kill That Spider by Almighty God.
Another representation from the Spanish-speaking world, this time on Europe. This is one of the pieces that I feel looks better, not in HD. When I was recording it, I thought I'd missed it, because when I see it from further away, it's really defined, and I think it loses something when you blow it up larger. It's a really good piece.
It's the problem with a lot of pixely type art is like you got to step back to see the whole.
Yeah. This next one is a fascinating piece. It's a C64 Happy Birthday by Aki, and you'll understand why it's already on the screen, but you'll understand why when you see the picture. It's a C64 piece. As a tribute to the ZX Spectrum. Yes, I said ZX. We didn't have it in the States. So we can't call it a ZX Spectrum.
No, of course you didn't. No.
We did have the Timex Sinclair. That was my first computer. But
it was the Specky and the C64 were rivals, but not. I wouldn't put them in the same. It wasn't the same rivalry as the ST and the Amiga, though.
Well, certainly not worldwide. No.
No.
Maybe in parts of the UK. I know people that were definitely that way.
Entry number 11 is Prophecy from the PET 2001 by Jun Bula of CHIPTONAUTS, sorry.
I think
I can't read that.
CHIPTONAUTS. It's hard to tell with the UTF-8
with the font.
Yeah. Anyway, this is about as close as we can get to a PET display without actually using a PET. The PET display was green on white, same character set. I'm sorry, green on black. This is very close. I like this piece because it's mono. There's a lot you can do with it, with mono.
Well, I don't know about you, but I have that is my desktop colors at work.
Yeah, it's one of mine. This is A Day in Life by LMN. I'm not going to comment on this one yet. This is one of the Ansi pieces. This is another cartoon type thing.
Let's save the scene.
And this is the
Oh, I
part
used to
where I
watch
had to
Artifact.
get a check to make sure I could show it. Because, yeah. But it was declared that, yeah, we could pull that off.
Maybe it's too low res to get to be caught by Twitch.
That's a question. I mean, who knows why we had that problem last year.
Who knows?
just-
Who knows?
Yeah.
I used to watch Art Attack as a kid.
Was that an actual program?
Art Attack, yeah. Presented by Neil Buchanan, if I recall correctly.
Huh. I imagine it's on Archive.org then?
I have no idea. It's a,
Okay,
it's
well,
a 90s program from, I think it was on ITV.
I'll go and see, because obviously ITV we didn't see much of in the States.
Nope.
BBC, yes.
Entry number 13 is Orca Tribe by Soundcat. Orca Petsky, what? Back once again with the whale behavior.
I really like that fact. Somebody needs to do a back once again with the whale behavior. Just do the whole sample, the whole phrase, and mix it in with some things. I also like the fact that, okay, it has the Amiga ball. I'm a sucker for that. I also think, in comparison to, say, last year, that Soundcat has his skill has improved. You can go back and look at the piece from last year. I think he's been in the last 2 years. Maybe just last year, though. Next is Gridrunner by Electric of Extend. One of the names that I was very happy to see in the compo. Extend is, well, kind of known for several of their artists on C64 just being amazing artists. The Electric people.
Yeah, I mean, this is... That just looks lovely, that does. It's that's almost like it's crystal or glass and
Yes.
with the reflections on the sides.
And you can, I mean, he's using characters that work, but if I was drawing this, I wouldn't come up with those. So it's fascinating to me how you put those characters in, and you know how to do it.
Yeah.
And it's shading
Yeah.
with characters.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it becoming second nature after a while. I mean, some of the stuff I know how to do in a tracker is pretty much second nature, but everyone else is going, what the hell are you doing that for?
Next is from Luisa of Poo-Brain and Rabenauge, greetings programs. I think it's pretty obvious what this is inspired by.
Classic movie.
That's
You know, I even liked the sequel they did, like 30 years later.
I haven't seen that one. You know, I actually haven't seen I remember so much of the hype for the first one, and of course the arcade games, which I managed to get to play, but I didn't actually see the movie because we didn't get to go to the theater much. It cost too much. But yeah, I've seen so much of the rendering and so forth, and documentaries on it. I really like the Tron series, and of course the light cycles and everything else.
Yeah. Number 16, 40 Years of Love by Honcho. More Petsky. Oh, that's just cute.
This is going on my desktop. Just, I mean, okay, it's low res, but it's just, I mean, that's just a picture. That's a great picture. Also in the pack, if you don't want his name on it, he did include a version that doesn't have his name, but I think it's worth putting your name in your piece. With Amiga Yes, Amiga ASCII. You always sneak your initials in it somewhere.
Yeah. It's traditional.
Now this is PETrowave by ND of Pretzel Logic. Another one of the names I was very happy to see when I saw the list.
I'm recognizing a lot of people here.
I want to see that loading screen on a production. I do.
Any significance in the numbers?
I haven't figured that out yet. I have not figured that out yet. I will.
I'm trying to remember what's at that address. What's at that address?
Yeah. You know, and I'm not sure if it's hex or decimal, but yeah. This is another one that gave me fits because he submitted as a bin file, and bin traditionally is a IBM ANSI thing.
Yeah. Entry number 18, Catnip's a hell of a drug. H7 TRSI and Accession and the boys.
I am trying to mute my notifications and my phone is not cooperating.
Stick it under the desk. We'll sort it out later. That's it. I do like the shading on the cat there.
Yeah. I know he also had to add the text after the cat, but yeah, I like the discrepancy of the dark at the top, light at the bottom. Next is Fishful of Steel from the Knight and Warpus of Lazarus and the Royal Belgian Beer Squadron. It's kind of becoming a tradition for Royal Belgian Beer Squadron to have these aquarium type productions. You might remember one.
Yeah.
Really good fish in this.
You don't want that in your aquarium.
No.
You'll end up with no fish.
No,
you definitely don't want that in your aquarium.
at all. They were worried that I might have to disqualify this because of Rockford, but no. Okay, seriously though.
Yeah, those fish. The rest of those fish are looking worried, and rightfully so.
But yeah, what is this thing doing down here? It's snoring. Where's its CPAP machine?
Does that mean you can breathe underwater if you got one of those on?
I don't want to try. No, you wouldn't, because it actually, yeah.
No, you wouldn't, would you? Number 20 is Revision Cosmos, a constellation of satellites by Harvest.
This is from Portugal.
Yeah. There's the space station.
It's not space station. It's satellites. It's a tribute to the theme from this year's revision, and I love that he did it. I love that he's got the flags in there, both the miniature one, the big one, and the actual. I really hope that they take this and make this the official info file, because it deserves it. I
do like the shading there, although I'm not too sure how that would render on Poet.
Good question. Garguy, if it doesn't work, I got some code that'll work. Oh, yes. Little Nemo in Demoland by Mr. Roboto. Another South American piece. No ice colors, because those aren't allowed in this compo. I'm just going to let this one go. This is... I really like the creativity that people put into this compo and everything else. It's But this, you know, little Nemo.
Limitation breeds creativity. We know this.
Oh, yes. And I assume more than just myself knows who Little Nemo is. But, yeah. This is going to... I don't know why my phone is making these noises. And yes, the big Pokeball. A friend of ours named Sean identified the Pokeball earlier. Big Amiga Pokeball.
Little Nemo in Demoland for Mr. Roboto there. And that's the end of the ASCII Ansi Petsky.
21 pieces this year.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
What are your standout ones from that?
Everything. I mean, I know DFox says that I always like everything, but
You do.
Okay, legitimately. I mean, I arranged the compo. I should not give preferences to them. But one of the things about arranging the order of things is that there's an art to it where you get your things where you don't want to just have this build and climax. You want to stagger some stuff. Put some stuff at the beginning and some stuff in the middle and some stuff at the end that kind of evens it out so that you've got this ride through the whole thing. So I tried to do that. I put some of the things that I really like at the beginning and some of the improved work to more toward the end. I obviously put more of the Ansi pieces toward the end because those tend to be the ones that, you know, they're more colorful and kind of people like to go out with a bang on that and then lead into the next thing. So I tend to do that. But yeah, I like a lot of the pieces in there, and it's difficult for me to compare C64 versus ASCII versus Ansi. They're three different things. What did you think?
What did I think?
Yes.
I'm not a particular text expert, but I did like that one at the start. Actually, the skull, the almost skull-like one, which was almost high res.
Yeah, sensenstahl.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I tried to mix in some of the ones at the beginning that are, hey, this is a compo. We're bringing some.